After you go through and create all 4 models for activity 4.3, you also need to go through and create a drawing for each one of those, a multi-view dimension drawing for each one. So to do that, we're going to go in Inventor up to the new icon in the ribbon up top and go to this create new file menu. You don't want to select on the drawing under new. You want to make sure you go to new so you can open up all of your available templates. When you open yours up, it's possible that it has English selected here on the left-hand side. You want to be in the root folder, which is templates folder. And under drawings, you should see a BCHS engineering technology drawing template. So go ahead and click on that. You can double click it or click on it and hit create. And when you do that, you'll get this resolve link error. Go ahead and hit skip all. And you will get a window to prompt you to enter some information. So the first thing you need to enter is your first and last name, your period that you're in, and the project title, which is going to be 4.3 dash and the number of your part, which in this case we're doing part 1, and hit OK. And then hit OK with the style conflict error if you get that. It's going to open up an 8.5 by 11 sheet for you to create your multi-view drawings on. If for some reason you entered your information wrong, like your name or the project title or the period, if you go over to the browser under the BCHS Engineering Tech Title block, hit the plus icon next to it to expand it, and then you'll get a field text option. If you double click on that field text option, it allows you to go back in and edit those fields. So you have project title, class, period, and name. You can't edit anything in gray, but anything in black you can go back and edit if you make a mistake. Once you have everything done for that, we're going to go and place our first part. So on the top left corner, you can go to Base under the Place Views tab. And you'll get this drawing view window pop up, and we want to go to the right-hand side to open an existing file. And mine automatically went to my IED folder in 4.3. If yours isn't there, you need to go to your name, My Documents, IED, and then 4.3 folder where you saved your parts. So go ahead and select part 1, hit open. And I can drag this window off to the side to get out of the way. And what you'll notice is you get a view cube and your part placed on the sheet. Now, if you created your part correctly, it'll default to the front view, so you should get the actual front view of the part. If you didn't, you need to go back to your part file and edit it so that your front view is correct and that your home view is correct. You can also go through and move your view cube here to get it to the right side or get it to the correct side if it is not showing right. Mine was set up correctly, so this is my front view. So if I click and hold and drag, I'm going to drag that to the bottom left corner because my front view is always bottom left. Then if I just move my cursor, it's kind of hard to see, but you'll see a little green dashed box and a line coming from that front view. This is going to be my top view, so I'll just drag that up there and then left click. And then I'll do the same thing to the right to place my right view and click. And then in the top right, I'm going to left click and that'll place my isometric view. So those are the 4 views you need: front, top, right, and isometric. So once I placed all of those, I'm going to go over to my drawing view window and hit OK. And you should be at half scale, by the way. This thing should be at half scale for your parts. Hit OK. And you'll notice that you lose the color on all of them. The first thing you need to do is go back and add color to the isometric only. So if you move your cursor until you're close to it, you'll see that red dashed box appear around it. If you put your cursor right over that box and double click, it'll pop up that drawing view window again, and then you can select shaded. And when you select shaded and hit OK, it's going to add the color back to that isometric view of your part. Now what we need to do is go through and add dimensions. So I'm going to start with my width, and if you have a piece of scrap paper, it wouldn't be a bad idea to go through and count how many dimensions you need for width, height, and depth, but I'm going to start strictly with width, so I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. And I'm going to go through and count vertical lines to see how many width dimensions I actually need. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Minus 1 is 6, so I need 6 total dimensions. So if I go up to the Annotate tab at the top left corner, it brings up my dimension command. I'll click on General Dimension, and I'm going to go through and initially place my overall width dimension, which is going to be from this far left side. And you'll notice these green dots pop up. Avoid clicking those if you can. Just click there, from that edge, zoom in a bit here, to this edge. And then I'm going to drag up, and you can see that there's certain places where it snaps. Want to make sure we have enough room to add our dimensions, the rest of our dimensions. So I'm going to put it up about at this height, and then I'm going to left click to place it. Now initially you'll get this window where you can edit the dimension. If you don't want this to pop up every time, you can uncheck this edit dimension when created, and then the next time you place a dimension, this box won't pop up. However, if you do want to go in and edit it, all you have to do is double click on the dimension. So if I hit OK, I'm still in the dimension command, so I can hit escape to get out of that. And then if I double click on the dimension, it'll pop up the edit dimension window. The other way to start a dimension instead of clicking on the dimension command up in the ribbon is to right click, and then you have a set of commands that you can access from the right click menu. So we have general dimension here for placing dimensions. Also, you can do this to get to your base view to actually place your part in the drawing as well, just by right clicking. So I'll select general dimension. I know I need 6 total, so I'm going to start from the left. I need the dimension from there to there. Place that. I need the width of this leg here. I'm going to actually put this dimension not between adjacent views, but on the outside where it matches the contour the best. The dimension from there to there for this dimension, and snap it to the same height. You see how it snaps into place there. Click there. I'm going to create this other dimension for this leg here down here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one more width dimension, and I could either place it for this width here or this one here, and I'm going to go ahead and use it here just to keep everything nice and neat and in line from that edge to that edge. And you'll notice when I place this that 1 and that 2 overlap, and that's not a big deal. We can fix that. Just escape out of the dimension command after you place it. I can click and hold on that 1 inch, and I can drag that to the other side. And for right now, it's totally okay that this extends out here. It would be ideal if it was fitting in, if it would fit in between, but the number's a little too big for that dimension. So as long as it's there, that'll be plenty. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 width dimensions, which means we are totally dimensioned for width. Then we need to do height dimensions. So I can go through and count those as well. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, because these are both parallel to one another, and 5. So minus 1 is 4, so I need 4 overall dimensions. I'm going to go ahead and put it on this front view, even though I'm going to be overlapping extension lines, just because I have a hidden line over here and it kind of shows the contours best on the front view. So I'm going to select dimension. I'm going to right click and select general dimension. I'm going to dimension from the very top to the very bottom. Drag that out so I have some room. And then I'm going to dimension. I'm going to start and go from top to bottom. So I'm going to dimension from there to there. Drag that dimension over. I'm going to dimension from there to there. Drag that dimension over, and I have that 0.75 problem again. I'll fix that here in a second. I'm going to escape out of the dimension command, drag that down so it doesn't overlap. That'll work there. And then grab my dimension command again, and I'm going to dimension from here to here. I don't really like where that's sitting right now, so I'm actually going to escape. If I want to edit a dimension and delete it, I don't really like this one, so I'll escape out of the dimension command, and I can just right click on the dimension itself and hit delete. Also, if you click on it and select it and hit the delete key on your keyboard, that'll also get rid of it. So I don't like that where that's positioned, so I'm going to dimension from the bottom to that edge there instead. So I'm dimension from the bottom to the edge there. And that's kind of overlapping too, so I'm actually going to bring it over here to the left just so it's not overlapping. And that is the total number of dimensions I need for height, 4 total. And then I'm going to do depth. And the best view to show depth is going to be on this top view here because it actually shows that extrusion. So I am going to right click, hit escape, and I'm going to count how many depth dimensions I need. So I have, on this one, I'm going to count horizontal lines. So I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Minus 1 is 3, so I need 3 total dimensions. I'm going to right click, general dimension, do my overall dimension from that edge to that edge, bring that out. Then I need 2 more dimensions. I'm going to go ahead and dimension from that top edge to that inside edge there. And then just so I can have my dimensions spaced and they're a little easier to read, I'm not going to dimension this larger one. I'm going to dimension this bottom one, kind of like I did the top one. So from that bottom edge to there, and snap those together. This way I know I don't have any overlapping numbers, and it's a little easier to read that way. So once you go through and have all of your dimensions done, you should have your isometric placed. It should be shaded. This is a completed sketch. So you should go to, I'm going to hit escape to get out of the dimension command. I'm going to go to iPro. I'm going to click save. And I want to save it as the exact same name, so 4.3 underscore part 1 underscore C Townsend. The difference is this will be a .idw file, and it's in my 4.3 folder. If you're not there, make sure you go and save it in the same location as your part file. Hit save. And then I also need a PDF that I can submit to Canvas as my submission for the assignment. So I'll also go to iPro again. This time we'll go to Export and PDF. And also, once again, should be in your 4.3 folder within IED. So just looking at that again, under my name, my documents, IED and 4.3. And once again, exact same part name. So 4.3 underscore part 1 underscore first initial last name. This time it'll be a PDF. And I will hit save there as well. Now this drawing is totally done. You would need to go through and create your drawing for each of the other 3 parts, as well as a PDF for each of the other 3 parts. Just make sure that you have all your files saved as PDFs, and then you'll go back and submit all 4 of those PDFs as your submission for this activity. Those 4 PDFs need to be submitted to Canvas. You can either upload them directly from your desktop to Canvas. You can save them to your Google Drive and then upload them that way. Doesn't really matter to me how you upload them, as long as all 4 PDFs are exported and saved to Canvas.